Now, there's no doubt about it that by far the most anticipated Star Wars TV show of 2023 is indeed the Ahsoka Tano TV show, and of course the Mandalorian Season 3, that are both going to be pretty much connected when it comes to the way of storytelling. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new Star Wars universe is that both Jon and Dave Filoni, are really invested in turning things around. Specifically, Jon Favreau is really cherry-picking elements from the Heir to the Empire story, the Dark Empire story as well, and let's not forget about the Thrawn trilogy, all of which are going to be inserted into the Ahsoka Tano TV show. Now, Heir to the Empire is going to be a big deal for the future of Star Wars. A lot of those highlights and those stories will be implemented into pretty much numerous new TV shows for, of course, Disney+. Now, moving beyond all of this, one thing that happened back in February of 2021 is when we all witnessed the firing of Gina Carano as Cara Dune from the Mandoverse, or just the Mandalorian, right? And she had a lot more shows that she was attached to at the time. She was going to be involved in Rangers of the New Republic, and ever since she got fired, that complicated things and ultimately led to the show getting pretty much put into a limbo mode, where it eventually got cancelled altogether and scattered into multiple pieces. So that's what Favreau and Filoni are doing, is that they're taking many elements from Rangers and throwing it into other TV shows now. However, when it all dwindles down to Kathleen Kennedy, she had some things to say about Gina Carano that may come across as surprising. Is it genuine or is it not, is the biggest question of all. Let's get into it. Now, on top of that, with both Kathleen Kennedy and Leslie Headland now getting less creative control over the Acolyte, Favreau and Filoni are beginning to make many changes behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm. However, it's described that behind the scenes, Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy has been frustrated with, of course, her power being stripped down with the Star Wars franchise. However, in a recent interview with Kathleen Kennedy, she was eventually questioned about actress Gina Carano and the character Cara Dune, and how she feels about the decision that she made. Now, Kathleen Kennedy went on to say the following to the fans. When I look back at what happened last year between us and Miss Carano, we did get a wide range of criticism. There is no doubt about that. We felt that fans running into a divisive time because of that decision that we had made with Gina. Maybe I did not handle the process well, that may have turned the whole thing into a bit of a shock, and for that I do apologize and am sorry. I feel I could have handled her termination in a more professional way, and I admit that I made a mistake with the way of doing things. It wasn't right for her to go through such a thing that so suddenly. At the time, we felt it was the best decision and way that we could do it to just make the process as quick as possible, and I know and understand that this perhaps was not a professional way for me to pursue. I will admit also that maybe I should have kept this decision quiet and just made myself and, of course, Miss Carano informed privately. I have not spoken with her since the whole thing happened, and I have been wanting to make things right with her for a while. She is still in the talks with Jon and Dave that I can't really open up about right now yet, of course, but we are trying to make things right with her, and whether or not she wants to accept this is on her. So let me just stop right here for a second before I get to the next stuff of what Kathleen Kennedy has to say, is that the biggest question of all time, and I always bring this up, whenever Kathleen Kennedy apologizes about something, or whenever she's talking about something that pertains to kind of, coming across as more genuine, it really makes you wonder, is she really apologizing, genuinely speaking, or is this a way for Kathleen Kennedy to boost her image and to appear more in line with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni's high charismatic type of, personality? That I don't know. It really comes across as being not all that genuine. To be honest with you guys, if she really was all that sorry, she would have apologized immediately after all of this happened. She would have never let this stretch out by a year and a half, simply put. So that's why I believe that this is not genuine. If you're somebody that fires somebody in such a terrible way like that while you're letting Twitter hashtags take the role, it's just pretty obvious that you did not care at the time. She did not care at the time at all. If she really cared about this entire situation and how poorly she handled it, she would have came out right away, you know, the day after, or maybe at max a week later, at max, right? And apologized about the whole situation. So this is either her apologizing because of some consequences that she is facing, in which, by the way, she is. She lost more creative power for the Acolyte show. We talked about this. But moving on from that, this is where things begin to really escalate, is that she goes on to say, it was never my intention to hurt anybody or to create a large backlash as it was for Miss Carano. Everything fans heard about her is a completely true thing. She is a actual nice person and never really caused any trouble behind the scenes. We just had lots of creative differences from time to time, and that may have caused some problems. And everything that she was posting on social media only made things problematic for us at Lucasfilm. We are trying to do better from now on, but I still stand by my decision of letting her go. We couldn't keep the social media posts like that going with somebody attached to our company at the time. We just couldn't. I do have some other things to talk about Miss Carano in the next couple of months that I am fully not comfortable to share with everyone just yet. But there is, of course, more to the story than everyone knows, and we believe everyone deserves to know the whole story. We are still excited with all the shows that are about to actually come out in the next couple of months, and we have been focusing on that for the fans. So, let me just pause here quick. The thing about Kathleen Kennedy here is that she's obviously really desperate to boost her image. I don't really, agree with that. I don't know why anybody would want to do something like that. It comes across as very disingenuous in a way, the way that she's putting this out there. Maybe she's being genuine, who knows, but guys, I mean, I'll be honest, it just does not seem like that at all. Again, like I pointed out just a couple of minutes ago, if you were really sorry, you would have apologized as soon as possible. So here we are, there's a lot of things happening with Kathy Kennedy and Leslie Headland with the Acolyte. Disney executives jumped in. They allowed Lucas and Favreau to have a lot of power over the show for a total of 5 episodes out of 9. And basically, a lot of those episodes involved a lot of Kathleen Kennedy's stories that she wanted to be told that are now pretty much getting burned up by Favreau and of course, Lucas. So I think that has a lot to do with this. I think also another thing that has a lot to do with this is the fact that she's realizing that fans are seeing a contrast now. They're beginning to see what good material is versus what not good material is. And basically what Favreau and Filoni, as well as Lucas, have been putting out with the Mandoverse as a whole, definitely outperforms the sequel trilogy. I mean, let's just be real. When you look at the sequels, it could have been so much more. It was going to be so much more. Kathleen Kennedy deleted so many scenes that JJ wanted to do, that Chris Terrio wanted to do, even what Colin Trevorrow attempted to do with Episode 9, Duel of the Fates. I believe that would have been far superior than Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. But anyways, guys, I would love to hear what you all have to say about Kathy Kennedy. Do you think that she's being genuine here, or is this just another ploy to save her own image? I would love to hear your opinion below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.